Good morning, everyone. My name is Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks for joining me today for Flosstube 145. I have a ton to show you. I have a fully finished object, a finished object, my third finished object of 2026, which is mind-boggling considering I wasn't even really stitching much in 2025. The Flossmas pick a new whip every day apparently really kickstarted my stitchy habit, which is really nice. So I've been doing a lot of stitching, and then I have other things to show you too of things that I haven't finished and that I've been working on. But before we get to any of, I also have some things to show you. I have some things that I bought off of eBay, which I think are really fun. And I got a Needle Arts magazine, which I may or may not get to in this video. My heat just kicked in because it is cold out there in Mississippi. And if you can hear that, I'm sorry, but I do need to keep the heat on in this tiny house. So yeah, before we get to sort of the main content of my video, I just want to say publicly that what is happening in Minnesota is not okay. And not only not okay, it is absolutely abhorrent. And that the fact that the government is funding essentially murderers of the murders of American citizens, which of course is not a new thing. I would like to point out as a historian, this is not a new thing. And then they are lying about it is really fucking terrible. So I have a friend who's in the Twin Cities right now. She teaches in the Twin Cities. And she has sent me some links to mutual aid groups that could use funds. So if you are looking for a way to help and donate, but you want to make sure that's going to good places on the ground in Minnesota, those links will be down below for you. And, you know, we can't all go to Minnesota, but we can absolutely support those who are already there. And I'm feeling positive that I'm hearing more about this on social media, because my social media is not political. My Instagram is not generally a politically focused. The algorithm does not show me many political things or many current event things, because it's a very crafty focus. So the fact that it's breaking through my Instagram algorithm makes me feel positive that perhaps the conversation is turning. So if you want to help and donate, I'll post those links down below. This is a channel about embroidery, cross-stitch, other textile crafts, history, and the history of all those things. So if you are not subscribed and would like to subscribe, I'd love to have you stick around. Welcome to my new subscribers. Welcome back to my previous subscribers. We're having a rough time here in the US, and I know a lot of my international friends and followers are watching and seeing how we react, and I hope that we do well. So there are those links below. All right, let's talk about stitching, because of course crafting is also political, stitching is political, textile arts are political. So art in general is political. All these things are political. So our entire life is political. Let's just put that. So people who say don't get political, everything we do is political. Every decision that we make is political, right? All right. So I have a fully finished object. You should be able to hear the ringing. I fully finished my Marcia Prosperity Hen. Isn't she beautiful? And I finished her in a row with my other two, with her sisters, her sisters Michelle and Denise. I was going to say Darlene. I don't have a Darlene. I might have a Darlene, though, later on. So we have these Prosperity Hens, and I really love them. I chose the not conical, the tube-shaped bell. It has sort of a richer, it has a lower ring, and I kind of like the lower ring rather than the higher ring. But there we go. So this is my Prosperity Hen, and I am very happy with her. So I'm going to get her photographed and posted on my Etsy shop so folks can purchase her and stitch her if they would like. And this is named after my friend Marcia, who is of Jamaican descent. And so she asked for the colors of a Jamaican flag. So I did that for her. there you go. So that is my fully finished object, and it makes me really happy to have that done. I also want to point out that I'm wearing my Descent collar. So this is the collar that Ruth Bader Ginsburg would wear when she was writing her Dissent. So this is jewelry is also political, and people can show their support and protest in multiple ways. All right, let's talk finished objects here. Finished objects. My first finished object. Oh, and questionable choices for about my finished object. My finished object. Oh, wait, you know what? I kind of want my prosperity hens to be my thumbnail. So I'm going to do that. There we go. I can screenshot one of those and make it into a background. I mean, a thumbnail. So, but this is my fully finished object, and I'm excited. Oh, and I broke my zipper pull. I'm gonna have to restring it because it's like completely broken. Like the way it's held on is busted. See? So I'm gonna have to redo that, but that's fine. I have the tools to redo it. So he's done. This is a he. He's done. I don't even have to show you what it's going to look like because it looks like what it's going to look like. And then I'll show you my questionable choices. So I'm going on an adventure, which is from the 12 Days of Christmas box from Forbidden Fiber Co. This is done in all the called for colors. And it has all of the dwarves and hobbits and Gandalf. It has the Hobbit door. It has our travel through the woods, the forest. It has the wolves, which apparently when they're coming out of the mountain, there are wolves. I will be listening to this book on my drive this Friday to try and remember who all these people are. We have the trolls with their pot, and we have the mountains. So that's what we have. So let's talk about, and this is stitched on. It comes with the kit. So, here's the pattern. But this is stitched on 36 count Edinburgh linen in the colorway Burglar. And all of the colors are right here. Whoops. Are right here. And they are all named after parts of the book. So it looks like all of these are dyed specifically for this box. And it has the little Flosstube ring, the floss ring with all its stuff. But anyway, so that's what it's made out of. That's what it's made out of. And let's talk questionable choices, because I made some questionable choices that it is what it is. There was some back stitching on this that I did do and some that I didn't do. There were a lot of like quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches. And I am not used to quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches. So I just did the best that I could. Sometimes I did it successfully. Sometimes I did not do it successfully. So for example, the sun has a bunch of quarter stitches on these sort of angled parts. There are quarter stitches other places too, but the moon also had quarter stitches, but I did 3/4 stitches by accident because I apparently forgot what I was doing and I forgot how to do it. So my moon looks sort of like a very square, very gray cookie. I don't know. The stitches on there, I may even have gone up. No, the stitches on that are just really bad. They're just really bad stitches. It's a very wonky square moon. The sun, however, is looking pretty darling. So that was my first issue, is that I did not do well with the quarter stitches and the 3/4 stitches. I do think I got better as time moved on, but in some cases I just ignored it and did all one color because I'm not like, this is for me and I don't care. I was supposed to outline the eagles. I did not outline the eagles at all. I I did give them beaks. I also did not give them legs. They were supposed to have little legs. I did do some outlines of, not outlines, back stitches of the fire, the torches. I'm assuming those are torches. Again, I don't remember the wolf time. So I will know more about this next week. I also, for some reason, now I love a French knot. I know a lot of stitchers do not like French knots. I love a French knot. And so I gave all the trolls little red French knot eyes. So they all look like they're high. They look like they're high. With their beady, bloodshot eyes. Hilarious. And then I kept getting caught on that when I was doing my back stitching. So the next thing that they were supposed to have was like back stitching in their face, which I tried to do, but I used 2 strands instead of 1 strand. And so they just have these like very blobby noses, which is not cute. I guess it's not cute. The way I made them is not cute. In the real world, I love all different sized and shaped noses. I think that noses are wonderful parts of the face. But these are just not, I did not do a good job. I did not do a good job at all. And I think a lot of these dwarves and hobbits were supposed to be outlined as well, but I don't know that it's necessary. So I didn't do it. Like, I just didn't do the things that didn't feel necessary because I knew I was just going to screw them up anyway. So like, why do it when it looks just fine the way it is? So that is the Hobbit stitch that I finished, and I'm really happy that it's done. I'm feeling very finishing of things these days, apparently. So we're going to fold it up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's going to end up, I have a finished project box up there that this is going to end up in until I decide whether I'm going to do something with it and what I'm going to do with it when I do the thing with it. That is my finished object, and I'm very excited about it. Let's talk other stitching. So I have three other things I've been working on this week. As you know, or if you were here last week or last couple weeks, you'll know that I have been working on my Heaven and Earth design, Lady and the Unicorn. And I'm trying to color complete black. So let me show you what that's going to look like on my pattern keeper. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is making progress. So this is what it's going to look like. And this is a medieval tapestry. It's a set of, I think it's one of 5 or 6, and it's about the senses. The other ones are about the senses, and this one's called Desire, Désir. This one's called Desire. And I am trying to color complete black. That is my plan. It's a very large piece of fabric. This is a 20 count Aida in ivory that I got from 123 Stitch using a gift card from my friend Carrie from Carrie and Stitches when I won her 1,000 subscriber giveaway like 5 years ago. So I think I bought a yard. So here is where we are, and I'll show you the parts I worked on. I did all of this. I worked on black in this. I went into the wilderness. Over here, there is no gridding over there. And I think I did okay. But it took longer to count without the grid. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up gridding this. So all this sort of green color, all those horizontal lines, and this gridding over here is new gridding. I did that the other day because I realized that I just kept having to recount. And so this way I can count and also make sure that it's correct on the grid. But I'm pretty pleased with this, and I will obviously keep working on the black. Oh, I also put in all the black that's up here as well. Yeah, I'm basically trying to get all the black on this side done, and then I'll slowly move over and I'll kind of grid the whole thing. I did notice though that it is getting dirty. So this is one of those things that's definitely going to have to be washed. Yes, you can tell the difference between the side that I hold all the time and the part I don't hold because we're not on that side yet. So this will definitely have to be washed. I stitch in hand using the sewing method, and so I grasp it pretty tightly. But that's okay. I just didn't know how to use. It's more portable from me in the way I stitch to do that. So let's see what my numbers are, because I've been writing down. I don't usually do numbers, but I've been writing down on this card the numbers. So last week on 117.26, I had 87.47, 310 stitches left. This week I have 79.65 black stitches left, which means that I stitched 782 black stitches this week. That feels really good. The other nice thing about working on black is because I have a cone of doom. I have a cone of 310. It has something like 21,000 meters of black. It's one of the big cones. And so I won't run out of stitches because this is not a fully kitted up HAED. I am kitting it up as I go. This is all the colors that I have kitted up so far. I do have loose ones in here that can be kitted up. I have some in a bag that could be kitted up. I just have like a lot of things going on in this bag. So I might kind of work on that. Sorry, you're getting, the bag is actually right next to my microphone sort of down there. Yeah, and I'm using a microphone today. What do you all think about the sound quality? So that is my Heaven and Earth design that isn't fully kitted up, but I have a lot of black. So I will be perfectly fine with the amount of, I was going to say yarn, the amount of floss that I have for the next few weeks. And this is in my Thriller bag that was a gift from Jody at Trixie Tricycle, who is also the owner and dyer at Cedar River Linen and Design in the Pacific Northwest. And this was from a Black Needle Society box years ago. So I keep it in that because it is one of my, if not absolutely my biggest bag. I think I have other bags that are similar size, but this is definitely one of the big ones. So I have that. I've also been working on, well, I'm realizing that I have a backlog of my own designs that are designed and maybe even stitched that I haven't posted yet. So my next one is that I haven't posted on my Etsy shop. So I'm also a designer. I design sort of medieval marginalia. I design temperature patterns. And then if anyone's stuck in the snow, I have a snowy pattern for you if you'd like to see it. I can take this off and show you. So this is Snowflake Serenity. If you're feeling like you want to stitch the snow, I would love to have you stitch the snow. You can find my Etsy shop in the link down below. But this is what I'm going to show you is a collab, an Earth Day collab for probably 3 years ago. And it is going to look like that. Turn it this way. There we go. It's going to look like that. This is a Ralph Waldo Emerson poem. And it actually, so if you've heard the phrase, the earth laughs and flowers, it sounds like a nice, happy, oh, the earth loves us. But the actual full quote is much more sinister. And it is that you cannot control the earth and it will smite you, essentially. Which, considering the fact that I'm in Mississippi and we had a historic ice event this past weekend, says something, right? So I'm pretty pleased with this. I have been working on this a lot, and now I'll show you my mistakes because I do have mistakes on this. I don't think anyone will care or notice, but they do exist. There are two major mistakes. I did the outline. Okay, I did the outline, so that color's actually done. I also did the skull because this skull at the bottom, I think I'm very clever. This skull felt very clever to me, where I made a skull out of vines and flowers, right? Does that feel clever? It feels clever to me in a poem about the earth and death. I'm very dark. Hold on, let me fix this. Hold on. I'm light again. Okay. So yeah, so I just felt like I was very clever. So I wanted to stitch that skull so I could show you, and I was getting kind of sick of stitching green. So let me show you my mistakes. I have two major mistakes, and they're both on this side, actually. The first major mistake is that this here, all this is one stitch too high. So it's one stitch too high, which also means that it's 2 stitches too far. 2 stitches too far. Now, it's possible that I realized that and didn't want to change it. So I adjusted it by making this 1 stitch too short. Now, I don't remember if that was a conscious decision because I stitched that part like 3 years ago. So I don't remember. But that's 1 stitch too high, which means it's because it's like diagonal. So it's 2 stitches too far. Well, yeah. So that's an extra stitch there and that's an extra stitch there. So it's also like over too much, I think. And then this is shorter, which means that this is also shorter. So the inside of this is all words, as you saw. And so I'm going to start my words from the middle and just kind of ignore all information from this side of the stitch. It'll be fine. I'm not going to rip it out at all. And I'm not going to worry about it at all. But, you know, we got to own up to our mistakes. That's what it's like being an adult. So that's done. And then the next thing I have been working on is in my raw dino pouch, which is my Elephantine by Roz Clark Crafts. So let me show you what that's going to look like. And I have a very exciting progress on this. So this is what it's going to look like. I have been spending all my time working on this elephant with the cathedral on top. But I have a new addition to the elephant family. And this is a fun stitch because this is basically a depiction of how medieval people saw elephants. Like, because of course, medieval Europeans had never seen an elephant. And so they just kind of went by descriptions. It's like, look at that guy. Look at that guy. He's like, he's such a sad elephant. And then this guy with the big old trumpet. Very funny. But I really wanted to win. I'm so excited. I made the tiny elephant. Maybe I'll use this as my thumbnail instead of my thing. There we go. I'll screenshot that. Isn't that great? Oh, I love the tiny elephant. Basically, I kind of want to work my way over because I don't want to count. So I'm just going to I think next I'm going to work on the lines and maybe work on this elephant some more too and get him finished. But anyway, I'm very happy with this. I've changed all the colors. I wanted it to be like super psychedelic. And so that's kind of what I've gone for, is super psychedelic. So I'm using very bright colors. That poor nun right there has an orange face, you know, as you do. So this is Elephantine by Roz Clark Crafts. It's being stitched on, I believe this is an 18 count Aida that I got in a grab bag from Color and Cotton years ago that had no like tag on it or anything. So it's just a random scrap. But I think it looks so good. I love it on the yellow. And the yellow is showing up really nicely, actually. In fact, it's showing up a little bit more yellowy than it actually is. It feels beigeier than it's showing up. But I love it. It's so good. All right, so that is my stitching for the day. That's my stitching. We'll put everything back. And I'm sorry I think I need to not put my mic so low because I fix things like in my lap and it's very loud for you all. Maybe this needs to go in a different bag also. It doesn't quite fit in this bag. I mean, like it fits, but like not well. So we'll put that in the bag. Okay, so let's now talk about my purchases. I have 2 eBay purchases I want to show you. The first one is in this bag, and there has been a little drama about this package. It wasn't expensive, and it is supplies for, what's it called? Fillet lace darning, because that is on my bingo card and I want to try fillet lace darning. And so I look for supplies because on eBay, because they're hard to find in the world today. So these are all used. So it's the fabric and then also the lace darning thread. So it looks like it's a yarn number 2, 100% cotton. I paid more than 78 cents or 25 cents for this, by the way. And then there's another color in here. They have blue also. So this was marked as delivered to my mailbox the same day that I got my other package, and it wasn't there. So I went into the post office to see what I could do, and they said it was marked delivered. It was delivered. The person who sent it, well, so I often get things delivered accidentally to my neighbor and friend across the street. She's a friend of mine. We work together. We're friends. And so for some reason, we're constantly, FedEx especially, always delivers packages across the street. I mean, one time someone delivered like my sub, like when we ordered delivery, they delivered it across the street. A roofer one time went across the street, right? So I had to grab them and bring them to my house. So this happens all the time. So I had planned on messaging her, or she will text me, and I hadn't gotten a text from her. And I'm like, this is weird. It's not coming. And I came back from work one day and Rich said, oh, she dropped this off. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, the person who sold this it was delivered to the correct address that was on the package. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So the person who sold me this put the wrong address on the package. Now, luckily, I'm friends with the person at that address, and so I got the package. I did not message the seller. I'm assuming it was like an honest mistake, and it's fine, and I don't, need to be mad about it, which I'm not. But it came 3 days late. So this has a bunch of the fabric. It has a bunch of the strings. So I'm going to add that to my collection and make some fillet lace this year. Speaking of fillet lace, I also bought some vintage fillet lace or antique fillet lace. Now, this stuff absolutely needs a wash. It smells like it came from a smoker's home, which was not pleasant. But I want to show you just some vintage fillet lace so you can see what I'm talking about. So this has some cherubs. Oh, you can see it really well. This has some cherubs. Yeah, this is heavily perfumed and smells a bit of smoke. Ooh, heavily perfumed. So I'm going to soak this in vinegar and dish soap and see if we can't get some of that out of there. So we have the cherubs. We have more cherubs. These are not white. I'm saving the best for last. These are more cherubs. I have 2 of these. 2 of these. Are they exactly the same? No, they're not quite exactly the same. This one has a bird, and they're sort of playing with, they're sort of holding scrolls with birds. And then this one has like a vase. Ooh, they're intensely smelling of perfume. Just holding them up is giving me a headache, if I'm being honest with you. So I might actually work on that today. I thought this was pretty. This is a different kind of lace, but it's 2 people and sheep. I think it's sheep. Are you on the... Yeah, here's the other side. I mean, they're amazing. They're like, the workmanship in these is amazing. So now we get to the fun ones. We have Minerva with her spear and shield. Love it. Love it so much. Love it so much. Minerva. And then I have 2 of these. Oh, no, I have Yeah, do I have 2 of these? Yeah, I have 2 of these. They're goats. They're goats. How much fun is that? They're goats. This is looking like the start of a swastika, but it's not a swastika. So it's a goat. It's a goat something. I don't know how that makes me a little uncomfortable, but they're goats on a picnic table. I want to say they're goats having lunch at a picnic table. So I have 2 of those, the picnicking goats. And then I have one of this, which is a larger picnicking goats. Larger picnicking goats. Anyway, I just thought these were super, super, super fun. I definitely have to soak these for a while in vinegar because they are potent. And I don't love it. I don't love it how potent they are. So my plans for today are, well, it's Monday and we don't have class today, like the university's closed, but I still have work I have to do because I teach tomorrow. So I have work to do. I have grading to do. I'm also going to work on a junk journal. I want to make a junk journal commonplace book because I just think that I really want a commonplace book. And I am going to do some stitching later on. I'm about to take my husband somewhere because he's worried about ice on the roads. And he's like, you're from the Northeast. You can drive. I'm like, I can drive. It's fine. So I might do that. And that is the plan for today. I do, like I said, have this Needle Arts book from the Embroiderers Guild of America. And I just saw some really fun things I wanted to show you. So I love a little bit of chaos. And so this is an international exhibition. And these items were created by the Kapiti Creatives, 17 self-described textile fanatics, all members of guilds within the Association of New Zealand Embroiderers Guild. But look how wonderfully chaotic these are. I mean, isn't that amazing? I think it's amazing. I love them. I'm really into sort of chaos stitching. Like, look how lovely that is. And because chaos, of course, is like controlled when it's deliberate. When it's deliberate. Yeah, I like that one right there. I really like that. Anywho, I just wanted to share that with you. And anything else in here that I think it's all pretty amazing. It comes with a sampler motif of a house. It teaches you how to finish some ornaments that are on the cover. There are some textiles from around the world, like so we have the Fulkari from Punjab. From the Punjab region. We have Reticello from Italy, and then there's Tambour embroidery, which is both in China and India, but there's no real picture of it. But that's with sort of the mirrors. What else do we have here? Some samplers. Ooh, there's like a reading pattern. I wonder if there's a better picture where I can show you. No, there's a great, I love to read and I love books. So very simple patterns in here, which is fun, from the Carolinas. Ooh, there's a whole thing about the Bayou Tapestry. Atlanta, Georgia. Look at this. But they're like modern interpretations of the Bayou Tapestry, which I think is amazing. Dinosaurs. Eons past. And then we have some cars. Ooh, this is super fun. Now I have to go to Atlanta. Where is this? This hidden gem in Atlanta, Georgia reveals an amazing fiber arts exhibit. That's really fun. Anywho, so that's kind of what's in here. And that's all I have to talk about. I will not be filming a video next week, but I will have a video posted about my bingo card and like sort of how I made it and why I made it. And yeah, I have a video about that and going through it. So I'll post that next weekend. So you have a video from me. And then I'll be back in 2 weeks and I will go over how I did on my bingo card for the month of January, and also all the stitching that I've gotten done in the 2 weeks that I will not be filming. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Don't forget about those mutual aid links in the description box down below. We all can do our part. And I think that it's important to speak out because, of course, silence is complicit, and I am not feeling complicit. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. It's been great to hang out with you. I will see you in a few weeks. Take care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.